Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Rise Above with Simple, Healthier Living. So I'm finally getting around to harvesting my elderberries. Kind of been a rough year this year. When most of them begin ripening and I start picking somewhere in the middle of July through the 1st of August, that was right about the time my dad wasn't doing so well. So a lot of things just went on the back burner for me. Some of the elderberries I didn't get a bag on. That's all right. My covey of dove that live around my house needed some good elderberries. First, I'm gonna start sorting through what I should keep and what I need to just go ahead and feed the geese or the ducks or the birds out back. Good example. I didn't get around to harvesting them. They all fell off in the bag. And none of these are really worth saving. As you can see, I didn't get a bag put on this one, and I picked it too early. You can see all of the light red elderberries. So this will just go to the birds. Another one for the birds. There's a nice one. So one of the methods that I had found to make this a little bit quicker on myself is I take a tray and I elevate it. And this morning I'm using a lid. So a lot of the elderberries, I can just roll in my fingers. And if they're a good, healthy elderberry, still plumped, you'll see that they just roll right down to the bottom of the tray. In case you're wondering why I do this in the garage, is because my very first year, a few years ago, I tried to do this in the kitchen, and I stepped on so many of them and almost ruined my rug. Elderberries leave a pretty good stain. Now this particular one, I'm gonna say it was perfectly ripe. This is the only one that I found a small stem in. Let me see if I found any that's not quite ripe. There's a couple. Okay, let me show you my little trick. All the berries that are perfectly ripe, they're not mushy, they're a little firm, but not hard. They just roll beautifully down to the bottom of my tray. That one doesn't want to roll. Yeah, that one stopped midway. So I pick up these ones that doesn't like to roll. Make sure any debris is pushed to the top of my tray. I cheat. I clean the top of my tray with my shop vac. Wow, look at that. The sun just came out. We'll have to open the garage door and check out the red sunrise. Gorgeous. Not sure how long this is going to take me today, but I'm hoping that I get this done before it's 100 degrees outside. It's pretty warm in the garage right now. I just realized something. As I was going through these, I had been harvesting and throwing them into this bucket because I knew I did not have time to get around to them. But I didn't want them to ripen anymore. So I'd throw them into this big old pot and I would just stick them into my outside refrigerator. Well, I had a little bit of moisture or condensation on some of these, and it was becoming kind of a pain. So what I ended up doing was going ahead and pulling a bunch of them out and setting them on a tray to kind of air out just a little bit. So while I was working on this, God sent the rain and cooled it down quite a bit. I'm telling you, it gets hot when working in the garage. I thank God for my Chills-It towel. Elderberries for chickens. It's one of the greatest medicinal plants you can have growing where your chickens can get to them and feed off of them. It helps combat the bird flu. That's why I do not mind this year. Maybe God decided that my dove and the geese and the ducks out back need these worse than I do. So before we zoom in, if you have chickens, especially if they're free range, find a place that you can grow elderberries. Now, yes, as the elderberries start to grow, those chickens will eat it clear down to the ground. You'll have to protect them until they're in full bloom, and you'll be able to take off the wire or whatever it is that you are using to protect your elderberries, and then just let the chickens have at it. It is so great for them. Even if you're not interested in growing elderberries and going through this trouble to harvest them for yourself, they're great for your chickens. So let me get zoomed in, and then I'll be able to show you everything. The good, the bad, the ugly. The little seeds, the little debris, some overripe, some underripe, and how I pick through those. Yes, it's a long process, but I promise not to talk during this process so I can take it and fast forward it for you. We'll see how successful I am. The humidity is working against me. Normally these all just roll right on down. After this rain, they're getting a little stuck. Too much humidity. But I have a plan for the next batch. So let's try another way. I think this is a trick to do one bunch at a time. Raise the level of my tray a little higher. This has kind of been frustrating today, so I think I'm not going to risk it. One cluster at a time. Let's see if my theory is correct. This is exactly what I was trying to show you before. Last year I was able to put a bunch of them right there and just roll them, and they would all come falling down. With the humidity today, I'm having to do one batch at a time. Now all of these that will not roll, there's no sense in me even trying to save them because I'm going to end up floating them out in the sink. Okay, this took longer than I thought it should for just the few cups that I'm going to have. Let me get my garage all cleaned up, and I'm going to blow it all out so I do not step on it anymore. And then I'll take it to the sink and I'll explain to you what I mean by floating it out, because I'll have more that I will throw away. So here's the big old bowl for my dove, my geese, my ducks, and I'm going to have more. Let me get the garage clean. It was a hot one today. So let me show you what I mean by floating them out. It's one of my very last stages in cleaning elderberries. So I only keep the cleanest, the best elderberries. Let's start floating them. So I give them a good rinse, and yes, I'm using my city water. My final rinse will be with my filtered water. I fill up a strainer in another bowl. I'm giving them a good rinse. I wish I had a better little strainer that didn't have the little ears. All of the berries that are either not ripe or overripe float to the top. And then any debris that may still be left in them. I let it settle just a little bit longer. Let's get this all strained. I'll give them another good rinse with my filtered water. And I'll repeat this process a few times. So these are the berries I intend to keep. And in my strainer, these are the berries that I'll feed to the wildlife. So all of my elderberries I always freeze in 1 cup measurements, because every recipe that I give people or that I use requires 1 cup. So one of the handy ways that I found to be able to give people elderberries and not worry about me getting my containers back is I just take a Ziploc baggie and I found a glass in my kitchen. And last year I had 8 glasses all lined out with a baggie inside of them. Let's measure off 1 cup. Roll it back over. There I have it. 1 little cup that they can freeze, or I can freeze for them. And then I hand them one of these little kind of books that I made of the health benefits of elderberries, how to make cordial, how to make the shrub, and then how to save the berries from either one of these recipes and make the chutney. All 3 of these recipes, I have already made videos on each one of these. These make great little gifts, especially if they knew the labor I went to make this for them. Now for myself, since I've been trying to get away from plastics, especially since I'm filtering my water to get plastics out, I've thrown away so many of my plastic ware. I finally found these 1.5 cup freezer containers have worked beautifully. Looks like I'm gonna have a little bit extra. I'm gonna open up the tops of some of these and add a few more in. So this year I ended up with 9 cups. Not too bad for having the whole spring and summer that I had, and not taking the time to put my fruit bags on my elderberries. So I'm not disappointed whatsoever. Look at all of these that I get to go throw out in the pond out back for all the wildlife. I know it seems like a lot of work for something as simple as this, but elderberries are so good for us. Hopefully in this video you've seen a little bit of my tips and tricks to make things a little bit easier in how I do things. Because who knows, you may go out foraging someday and you may find elderberries. Now don't find them along the ditches by the roadside. That's usually not a good place to get them. There's usually a lot of bad chemicals in the ditches. But you find them on some tree line somewhere growing in the wild. Elderberries are wonderful. And you'll know if you can just roll them right off your finger and they just roll down a tray, you know they're perfectly ripe. Love you guys. See you on the next one.